Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul to Soul. I am your host, Medium Kelly Kristin, and it is fabulous to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. And I hope everyone had a great week. It went by fast for me. It seems like I was just on, but I'm glad to be here. And I thought while we wait for the caller, I would talk a little bit about what it means to be a good sitter. So I've had this question come up last week a few times. So when you're the sitter is the client that the medium's reading for, right? And I think we all here don't feed the medium, right? Because we don't want to give too much information, and that's absolutely true. But also, we do have to give some information, right? So there's like a happy medium, and there's no pun intended with that. But it's your job to validate the information that the medium's getting. So I usually tell my clients a yes, a no, a maybe, or an I don't know, right? And then if I need you to elaborate or we need to work over something, then I might ask you some more clarifying questions. But a lot of it is the energy. Your energy also drives the reading. Sometimes it's hard because for me or most mediums, it's like we're playing a game of charades or Pictionary, or sometimes for me it's like Wheel of Fortune. You know, at the end when you get the puzzle and you only have a minute to solve it, and you got to figure out what the letters are, and you don't solve it, but right after the buzzer rings, you know what it says. Sometimes it's like that for me when I'm reading. So I might see an apple, right? And it might literally mean an apple, but it could also mean a teacher, right? So you have to figure it out. So by you being involved in the reading and supporting with your energy, it really helps. And I'm going to tell you about a little reading I had a couple of weeks ago, and I call it my Goldilocks and the Three Bears reading because it's kind of like what it was. I had a mom first at lunchtime, and she was at work, and the reading went well, right? But I could see her like kind of like looking off to the side because she was at her desk, and I kept feeling like somebody was going to come in and interrupt her, but it went fine. It was great. And then she went home and told her husband and daughter, and later that night I read for the husband, and he was hard because he was nervous. He didn't really believe in mediumship. um, he just literally was, every time I said something, he would say, "Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, ma'am." Almost to the point where it was kind of funny, but we did manage to do a good reading for him as well. But when I got to the daughter, that was the magic. She, A, believed in it. B, was also very intuitive and just younger, and the reading just flowed. It was like music, and it was just a beautiful reading. So the mom was good, the dad was all right, and the daughter was fabulous. And I'm not saying that like I'm doing that, right? It was the combination of our energies working together. So being a good sitter is knowing not to give too much information, but to give some feedback and support with energy. Right. So we have our caller, and let's see, Maureen, are you from Burlington, Ontario?
Yes. Yes,
Hi,
ma'am.
how are you? How are you?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. What do you have a question for me? Do you want me a psychic reading? What kind of reading were you looking for tonight? Mediumship?
I'm thinking maybe a combination of the two. Or
Okay.
I guess my question is, I'm going through a big period of change in my life, and I feel very cut off from everything. And I think, we all have like our angels on our shoulders. I feel like my angels, if you will, have been trying to like kind of guide me, but I'm that fear factor kind of gets in the way of really understanding, what my next steps are, trying to figure things out. growing from the process, I guess. And I guess I'm just looking for somebody like yourself who has the expertise or the gift to kind of be the middle person so I understand what the message is.
Okay. These are actually my favorite kinds of readings, because I like spirit and, to go psychically as well. And actually, the very first thing I felt with you when you were talking is that you already know the answer. And I feel like you also are really intuitive. Would you understand that? Do you have, do you use your intuition, or do you know about your intuition?
I do, but I don't always trust it.
Right. And that's what I was
Actually,
going
I
to say
don't trust
next.
it.
Right.
Right.
But I really feel like I want to tell you, your intuition is really strong. Um, so that's the first thing, is to trust that, and notice where you feel it. If you feel it like in your gut, you get literally that gut feeling, or you might feel it somewhere else in your body. But when you get that nudge, pay attention to where you get that, right? Um, and I do absolutely feel like you have a lot of family on your side who is supporting you. And I'm talking about family and spirit. And it does feel like there's some that that feels like it goes way back. But I feel like there's a gentleman here, who stands up proud and tall and tells me that he's so proud of you. Um, would you understand a man in spirit? I know I haven't identified him, but um,
Possibly.
okay.
I would
So
just be difficult to narrow it down.
right. I don't want to run out of time, and I want to give you the information, because it feels like he has watched you, and it feels mostly from the spirit world, um, go through these challenges. And actually, when you think you didn't come out on top, you did. Um, so working through, it feels like you've had quite a few hardships in your life. And it feels like that might be part of why you don't trust your intuition. But I feel like things are turning around for you now, and you have the support of this gentleman, and he feels like he is an angel, or he's joking that he's your angel. He feels I don't want to 100% say it's a grandfather, but he feels like that kind of energy. So I'm not sure if you have a grandfather in spirit who passed when you were young. Would you understand that?
That makes sense to me, yes.
Okay, because I just feel like there's something about him that he wants to tell you he's on your side, even though you may not have known him. And I feel like there's a lot of things about him that are similar to you. Um, the cutoff feeling, I feel like I understand that, and I feel like you're guarding your heart. And I feel like this is a protection thing, and I feel like this is absolutely what you need to do. But it's time to kind of break off. I guess I see like chains on your heart, right? Like kind of just break those chains off and start to emerge, your true soul self. And I wonder if you're wondering if there's what people are going to think of you. Is that part of your issue, or is that
Definitely.
okay? Because I want to
Definitely.
say, yeah, because I feel like you're past that, is what it feels like. It feels like this is your chance now to break free, and not have and leave the past in the past, and don't worry about what anyone thinks. Trust your intuition, because your soul knows best what you need to do to move forward. And I want to tell you, oh, I just got chills on that. And I want to tell you, you're not alone. But you do have a lot of people in spirit, and I don't know if you know them. And I also feel like there's a woman in your life that also is a lot of support for you. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Because I also feel like she's someone, I see her actually catching you, like if you fall, she catches you, and she's
Yeah.
there to support you, and but you don't need her anymore, because in that, like that. I mean, you need her, but she can stop holding you up, because you can stand up by yourself now. And I just see you coming out of just the chains breaking off your heart again. Would you understand that part if I say that?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand that.
Because
I'm the kind of person that likes to hide in the shadows.
Yeah, and
not really put myself out there. Yeah.
And that's so funny, because I was just about to say, it feels like your light has been dimmed, and that now it's a time to shine your light bright so that others can see you and be your true soul self. So funny that you said you hide in the shadows. Would This is random, but would the number 8 mean anything to you, or 88? It's okay if it doesn't.
I can't think off the top of my head now.
Okay, it doesn't matter. I just had written it down, and I wasn't sure if it was an 8 or an infinity sign. And I don't know if that would mean anything to you.
No. I have 2 daughters that are both born in August.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It just popped up, and you know it's funny, because I wrote 8 and then I wrote 88. So maybe that's the validation, 2 in August. But I always like to give it just in case it means something. Let's see, what else? Do you have any other anything else you want me to expand on? It helps me when you talk to me a little bit.
Well, like I said, I'm in the midst of a change. I suffered an injury a couple of months ago, and I have not been able to work. And basically that kind of threw everything up in the air for me. And so I'm trying to figure out, it's hard to let things go.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out whether it's time to move on.
Yes.
And focus, recharge and focus my energy somewhere else.
Okay.
Or
perfect.
If it would be healthy for me to go back there.
Okay. It feels like this is you emerging, and I keep seeing the chains on the heart, but I also feel like it's like a butterfly coming out of the cocoon. I know that's really generic, but it just feels like you're coming out of your shell, literally. And this is the time for you to move forward, and you do have a lot of support, and a lot of it is your own strength. And I am so sorry we have 60 seconds left, so I have to say goodnight, but it was a pleasure reading for you, and I thank you for calling in. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. And for the rest of you, I will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's good night for now. Bye-bye.